Hello everybody and welcome on today's video. Today we are going to talk about this beech. You see he has dropped most of its leaves and well, the remaining leaves I've started to get them off because they are not doing anything good at this point, and it will make it of course a lot easier to wire it. Before we start to wire it, let's have a look at the root base. Now the reason why I'm having a look at the root base is because, especially on deciduous trees, it is very important to have the best possible root base. So a good root base is a root base that is nicely spreading, and the first thing I see when I look at this side is that, well, there's some nice little roots here. There is a nice root here under, so probably this one and this one can go one day, but it's not sure. Anyway, this one is still providing the tree with water and nutrition, so let's keep it. You have to know this tree is in my possession for less than 2 years now, so we still have plenty of time. Now this looks like a quite acceptable root base, so this could be a possible front. Now when we turn the tree, we see that there is nice roots here, so this might be a front too. This is more balanced roots. You see, there's no thick roots. They're all the same size, well, approximately, and this could be a very nice front too. So I have 3 possible fronts now. Let's have a look to see if there's something else possible. Now, if I remove this thick roots, this might become a possible front too, but I will have to wait for new roots, so though I don't think this is a good thing. Because this root is very thick and is not in balance with the other ones, it would probably be best to get rid of it, and it will leave us with a big wound, so this might be better as the back. So if this is the back, and this is the front. Now let's have a look at the trunk line. So we mark this as a possible front with the thick root here, and if I take a look at the trunk line, this is not bad at all. I have a nice curve here. This part is a little straight, but there's no possibility of bending a beech. It's really hard wood. Now when I dug this tree up, of course I noticed that this would be a good front, so there were 2 branches here, and as you might see from the back, the trunk was 1 or 2 meters higher, and because I wanted this side to be the front, that's where I made the cut, of course. Now, I will probably never close this wound. It's going to take ages. But there is a possibility, and the possibility that I want to try is graft this branch, which is a side branch, and it can grow freely for 1 more year because it should be thicker. This one is a thick branch. This should be a little smaller, but it should be something in between the thickness of this one and this one to have a nice balance, so it can definitely grow 1 more year freely. But I'd like to graft this branch here, so when I'm wiring this tree I will try to put this branch already in the position where I want it to be for the graft, and it's going to be something like that. And I'm going to try to have this little branch going here, so that the wound will close when the graft is taken. The wound will close from the inside and from the outside, and it will help by fusion to close this really big gap. But the gap is not really a problem, because in my opinion this is the best front for the tree. I have a nice root base, I have a nice trunk line, I have side branches. The other sides can be removed. This will be the front. Now, as you might see, this tree is very full like this, but it is very two-dimensional. There's nothing in the back, there's nothing in the front. So this will be of our first purpose, to open this up a little, spread this so that we can build a nice crown on this tree. Now there are a few little buds emerging, and they are quite healthy. They can help in building the branch structure on this tree. There's a little bud here. In time it could help, and anyway it is providing nutrition for the tree, so let's keep them and use them for what they are now. So this branch will be somewhere here in the back. This one will then make the side branching, but first of all this one will be used as a graft here. So it will fuse here, and I let it thicken, and probably at the end of next season I will cut it back and build the ramification. So first of all I'm going to remove all the leaves now, and therefore I'm going to put a towel on the pot so that all the dead leaves are not falling into the soil. As you can imagine, this is not really interesting work, so I'll be back when it's done. So all the leaves are now removed, and before I start the wiring, I'd like to show you a little detail on this stump you can see here. This was a branch, of course, and in the summer I realized that it was growing to the side, so yeah, well, that was one more on the side, and I had too much and nothing in the back. So I decided to cut it off. Now I have two good buds here, and probably they will start to grow. I hope this one does. They will start to grow, and then I can use this as a back branch. Wiring the tree now is extremely important, especially with beech, because these branches become very stiff and very hard to bend, and when they are young it is still possible to do so. So yeah, it is important to do it now. Now, just to have a quick example how about to wire. I think I explained it already, but yeah, why not again? So this branch is a branch that has to come this way. So it has to come this way, and then I have to lift it a little. So because it needs to come this way, the underside of the wire should face that way. So first I'm going to anchor the branch. So you see the under side of the Now the reason why I'm wiring this branch is just because I want it to be in a correct position when I need to make the graft in spring. So I'm going to leave the branch here so I can wire the other branches without having this in my way. So okay, I'm going to do the rest of the tree now. So the tree is fully wired now, for the exception of a few little branches which I can do later, but the primary branches and most of the secondary branches are wired now, except for this one, because this one is the one that we will need to do the graft later. So the main purpose now is to open up the tree so that this rather a two-dimensional structure becomes three-dimensional, because this is a tree that I think might be a tree that looks good from different sides, so we're going to keep most of the possibilities open. So I'm going to shape this and well, speed the process up so that you can see the progress. So while I'm working, I realized that if this is the front, and well, then this should become the apex, and this branch here, this one, is thicker than the apex. So I have two possibilities. I can try to get this one out of the way and use this one as an apex, but it might get dangerous to bend this, or I might just cut back up to here and keep this part of the tree a little weaker by pruning, and then this will thicken. But could be nice to use this one as an apex too. No, I think I'm going to take my chances. I put quite a severe wire, so maybe I can bend this branch to this side. This will allow me to get this one a little deeper. So have some more movement here. Okay, I'm going to try to bend that one. Well, it worked quite well. I have a little tear here, so I must take care of the tear now, but I still can do some more bending. And then open this up. So now I'll have to do something with the empty space here, so little wiring. So now I like to position this one. So if I look at this branch, I think that this might be much nicer if it comes a little more up and adds some extra layer. And as you might see, I've been wiring a lot of these branches down, which is something I not really like, because too much down, I mean, because most of the deciduous trees, well, they grow up, but when you wire to give a shape, you always have to exaggerate what you are doing, because the branch will not stay in position, and from the minute this tree is starting to grow again in spring, I will have to remove all these wires. So that's why for now I am really exaggerating all this wiring. So now for the final touch, this branch that will be grafted in this spot, I can put it in position now so that it stays like that when I'm going to do the grafting. So I'll have to flip it a little. And this is where I want this branch to be. I'll bring the camera a little closer. So the purpose is that this branch will be grafted into this part, and this branch I will have to, I want to put it here on this piece of dead wood and guide it into this piece of living material. So the fusion will take place here and here, and I will have a new vein of living tissue on this dead spot, which means that when this is growing, it will fill the hole from the inside out and from the outside in. But therefore it is important that this branch is not under too much stress when it's growing. Now it can grow all season, maybe 2 seasons, and this branch will thicken, which is okay because I need a bigger branch here. And another nice thing about this graft is that you see I have already a branch to fill up this space, which can become a back branch eventually. So, well, that's quite okay. I'd like to get the apex a little more to this side. I think it might be possible, but Ah, that's a little better. Yeah. So about beeches in general, they form quite huge buds at the end, and if you want the little ones to emerge and start a good ramification, you really want to cut off the big buds. But it is nice to do that when it's swelling. It means that there is a gigantic amount of saps coming through the branches, and that's something you want to encourage. And then when you cut off the final bud, terminal buds, all this sap will be redistributed and you will have backbudding everywhere. So I'm just going to fill up the pot with the soil I removed to show you the roots. So the work on this tree is done for today, so just a few extra thinkings about this tree. From a rather two-dimensional view, we got something more three-dimensional. We still have a hole of a big gap here. That's okay. This branch will grow, and then we will form a piece of crown with what we have here. Once the layer, the graft is taken, this little branch is serving no purpose at all. Same for this one, except to maybe close this quite a big gap here, this wound, which I will not treat with any product. Why do I keep it? Just to close this and eventually to make a graft if I need a branch somewhere. It's always quite easy to drill a hole through the tree and then stick it through it. The apex should be shortened a little, but it's nothing I can do now, or that I need to do now. So this concludes the work for today. I hope you enjoyed it, and thank you for watching, and see you next time.